is the Shining Star Rick Star, and you're listening to Hardcore Wrestling Radio, right here on Spreaker. Hey everybody, I'm the Shining Star Rick Star, and this is Hardcore Wrestling Radio. It's a special edition. Give a welcome to our special guests. First, Anthony Bruno, who's the director of Wrestling with Disaster. He's joined by his co-producer, Vinny DeGuido. Vinny, Anthony, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Rick?
Doing all right.
Hey, Rick. Thanks for having us, Rick. Appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. Thanks for coming on board. And first, I'd like to talk to you, Anthony. When did you first come up with the concept of the movie, Wrestling with Disaster? What made you think of the movie?
Yeah, sure. Wrestling with Disaster, it kind of started two different ways. What happened was, on a personal experience, I had cancer about 2.5, 3 years ago, and I battled with that. And I was watching my loved ones and how much they were concerned about what was my future, what was going to happen to me. And on top of that, I was also I was a deep wrestling fan, and I kind of watched a lot of my favorites pass away over time and struggle with their own personal issues and stuff like that. And it was always kind of like rooting for not the wrestler as the wrestler, but the wrestler as the person, and hoping that they can get whatever problems that they were struggling with, they can get past it. So then, after I was done with my treatment for cancer, I had come up with the idea: what about the behind-the-scenes objective of the families and friends and so forth that have lost their friends in the business, in the industry, and how are they overcoming it? How are they making it through the issues, whether it be another wrestler or even their own issues? Where do they stand now trying to overcome these issues? And really, that's how Wrestling with Disaster came to develop. And, it's been fun ever since. So.
It sounds like it's going to be a really excellent movie, and it sounds like a really uplifting movie. That I can't wait to see it. Vinny, when did you get involved with the movie?
Believe it or not, one of my friends, I met her at one of the, it was like those chiller conventions and stuff like that. I was at there was like a horror, it was the Macabre Fair Film Festival, which is like a horror movie film festival, and I met Lindsay Lowe there, and she actually knew Anthony and got me to talk to Anthony because she said he needed help with the project, and I said, why not? I think it's a good thing that, this isn't like every other pro wrestling documentary you've seen before this, where it's nothing but negative and shits on the business. This documentary is actually positive. It has a very positive message. It's a very powerful, uplifting stories about how people overcame the negative and turned their negatives into positives. And this is actually hopefully going to be a model set for other people who do documentaries after us, even to use our model as an example. As it doesn't just have to be negativity. There's a lot of positive that can come out of everything, and we're just looking to make a difference in the industry.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the movie has a subtitle to it. It's called Wrestling with Disaster: Road to Redemption, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay. And when is this movie going to be set to be released?
What we're looking at right now, with any independent film, and this is considered an independent film, we don't know what the outcome is going to be as far as when it will get released on, like, will it be in theaters, will it be on DVD, will it be straight to Netflix, that kind of stuff. But the movie, we're expecting it to be wrapped by December 13, January 14, somewhere around there, meaning 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. That is our ultimate goal right now. Now, I have been in talks with people of getting it on Netflix, and the last film that I did, we got on Netflix, so I am positive, or I do have a positive feeling about it getting to Netflix at the very, very least. But our goal is definitely to get it in theaters or to get it in the film festivals, let as many people see it as possible, and then if it grows on its own, that's kind of what we're hoping for. And we believe that the film itself is going to grow on its own. Even just based on the footage that we've shot already, you can just really see this thing molding and becoming what it is today already. And on top of that, we haven't even gotten to a lot of the bigger names yet. There's so many names that are on this documentary that, I mean, the sky's the limit with this thing.
Absolutely, Anthony.
Now, already, since you brought the names up, who have you got starring for the movies? Just if you can, just name up a few names.
Sure. Well, we got, as far as some of the bigger names that worldwide fans are going to know, we have Kevin Sullivan, we have Gary Wolf, Pitbull Gary Wolf, we have Nelson Frazier, he went by Big Daddy V, Viscera, Fred Ottman, who's, Tugboat Typhoon, and more infamously, Shockmaster. We have no offense, Fred, I love you. We have a lot of great names, and the funny thing is that they're really starting to pile on now. In all honesty, I can probably tell you 3 other names right now, and you would be like, oh, wow, okay. But, we'll get back to that later on. And then we also have a lot of indie wrestlers. We have Don Moore. He used to work in FCW, the WWE Developmental. He was Cable Jones over there. We have Dickie Rods. He does a lot of the New York independent shows. Local to Philadelphia, where I'm at, we have Corey Castle and Billy Reel. And we've been working with companies like Monster Factory and DCW and Local Academy, which is actually where I'm sitting outside of right now. We have a lot of talent on this project, and it's just been amazing to work with them. And not only wrestlers, we also have ex-wives, Julie Hart, ex-wife of Bret Hart, and Michelle Billington, the ex-wife of Dynamite Kid, and that list is starting to grow, and we'll be able to talk about who else we're getting in that category as well. So names are definitely joining this project quickly.
That sounds like an incredible list already. Chris, you're with us. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask these two guys about the movie?
Well, first, when will the movie be released in theaters?
We already mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We mentioned, Chris, before, we are working on a release at the end of the year, December 13, possibly January 14. We are pushing to get a release in theaters around that time frame, but like I said, with any independent film, it's really uncertain. But it will definitely be released. It will definitely be released, and you will be able to buy it. But our objective is to get it in theaters. Correct.
Oh, okay. Right.
Well, now is this going to be? Is there going to be any other movie? I mean, I know you're right now talking about just you're focusing on this one movie. Is there going to be? Are you looking into developing any other movies after this, or is this just a one project, one movie deal? Or
well.
Go ahead, Vinny.
We have several. Yeah, I'll tell you. We have a lot of ideas that going through our heads. We have we would love to do sequels. We would love to do we would really love to do Anthony and I have plans. We have plans to hopefully make it a series, but again, we don't know what the outcome of the first one's going to be, because if it's a flop, which I don't think it will be, but there's always the possibility of it flopping, and if it does, I don't think we're going to make a sequel. But it all depends on how well this first one turns out. I mean, we have plenty of ideas for upcoming documentaries afterwards, like sequels and stuff like that, to like Road to Recovery and other things that we have in mind. But it's not guaranteed. We don't know until the first one develops.
Okay,
right, exactly. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you just had any ideas in your head that we would like to talk about, and I mean, I understand that right now it's the clear, present one that you're focusing on, but I wasn't sure if
you can only go one at a time, fellas. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You got to put one. You got to crawl before you can walk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When the movie, Rick, I actually have a question.
Go ahead.
When the movie gets released on DVD and Blu-ray. Do you plan on putting a lot of great extra features on the DVD, or is it just for the Blu-ray?
Well, no, I can tell you this right now. When you manufacture DVDs and Blu-rays, there's only a limit of so much stuff you can put on there. I can guarantee you that we will fill both the DVD and the Blu-ray whatever comes out, as we will fill them to the max, and you will see a lot of great stuff. The movie's speculated to be about 90 minutes, and usually you can fit about a half an hour of extras when your movie's 90 minutes. So, do definitely look for some interesting side factors in this release. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Excellent. Now, as you said before, you're trying to, talk about this. What would you say the ultimate message about this movie is? What's the, you give us a little bit more about the insight of what this movie does, and what this. Go ahead.
Well, it's pretty much, we're trying to, like I said, make a positive message on this.
Yeah.
You have to understand this. It's not just pro wrestling; it's the entertainment industry as a whole. I mean, you got like Heath Ledger. He died earlier than he was supposed to. You got Brittany Murphy. She died earlier than she was supposed to. They're not wrestlers. They're in the entertainment industry. They're actors and actresses. Then you got musicians that die early, like Kurt Cobain and several other musicians that have died earlier than their time. And then you also got people in football and baseball that have died earlier than they're supposed to. Most recently, the Kansas City Chiefs player that died recently. I mean, all these come into factors. It's not just pro wrestling. And what pisses me off is when people shit on the industry saying, oh, pro wrestling's bad. No, it's not. It does have negative points like every other part of the entertainment industry, but there's ways to go around it. There's ways to avoid it. There's ways to overcome it if it does happen to you. There's ways to overcome it and go forward. There's several positive messages that can come from this. I'm sick of all the other documentaries before us where they actually exploit these deaths as if it's, and they make it so negative. But our idea is to turn these negatives into positives and show that, they didn't just die, they didn't just die for the sake of dying. They died for a reason. And I think it's to tell their story. It's to tell their messages on how to, you don't want to repeat what they did. You want to be able to, I think that we can all learn from everything that has happened. And this documentary that we're doing is going to show people how they're redeeming themselves, redemption quality of. That's why it's the road to redemption. It's about redeeming themselves through the negativity and continuing to do what they do because they love to do it, and they're going to make positives out of it. It's about redemption. You know what I'm saying? This is a good thing. This is a positive. This is going to be positive messages that come out of this. Am I right, Anthony?
Yeah, Vinny, I was just counting how many times you could say positive in one paragraph.
Yeah. I count about 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah.
No, all kidding aside, yeah, Vinny is very passionate about this project, so he gets a little ahead of himself sometimes. But Vinny's right. Yes, it is a positive message, and the point of the matter is that a perfect example, Rick. You stated earlier about the unfortunate loss of Reed, okay? That alone shows you what this documentary is about. No, it's not going to be about Reed Flair, but it's going to be about all the other Reed Flairs in the business. It's going to be about the guys that loved the Reed Flairs, the guys that loved, they loved the Trent Acids, the British Bulldogs, all that kind of stuff. We want to show that, hey, yeah, we've lost some in the business, and their losses were very unfortunate, but guess what? Now it's time to move on. We keep on trucking. We keep on doing our thing, and we take from those losses and we push forward, and that's what this documentary is about. It's about pushing forward, doing the best you can for who you are, not for the other people's footsteps you walked into in the past. You know what I mean? This is about overcoming for yourself and trying, and I'll use Vinny's wonderful term, to create a positive lifestyle for yourself.
And it sounds like and it sounds like it's going to be an awesome DVD. Can I may I touch on a touchy subject? I don't.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well,
now,
I don't swing that way if that's where you're going. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, darn it, man! Jeez, you blew me right off water before I even started.
Exit only, fellas. Exit only. No, I'm kidding.
On a serious note, you guys did say that Kevin Sullivan was, starring in this movie.
Yes.
Now, as you all know, that many years ago, Chris Benoit tragically died.
Right.
And he was, of course, his wife was married. He was married to, Nancy Benoit for many years. Do you think he's going to touch on that?
If I have any control over it, yes, he will.
Okay.
I will tell you this. I will ask the question. I will ask Kevin, what is your thoughts? What is your opinions? What are your feelings? Where's your head at with this situation? Kevin, my objective is for Kevin to put it out there, put it on the line, and lay it all out there. Let his insides, his inner emotions, let that come out, because I can assure you there's going to be something there with that. Okay, that's a touchy subject for anybody in the wrestling business. I can only imagine what is on Kevin's mind with that subject. And yes, it is my objective to discuss this with Kevin and take it from there. Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, like I said, I was a huge fan of Chris Benoit, and when that happened,
we all were, man.
Again, like I said, and I think when the WWE just kind of shadowed him, I'm like, it was kind of hard. I just think that when they completely X'd him out, I'm sorry, he was still great in the ring. What happened? To what he did, I'm not sure that a lot of people wouldn't agree to what he did, but it doesn't matter. He was still a phenomenal wrestler, It is what it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Still want to remember him for what he did. So.
See, and that's the thing, Rick. It kind of, you have to differentiate the wrestling world with the human world. And yeah, we're showing a lot about wrestling, but we're not talking about wrestling as the wrestler. We're talking about the wrestler as the human. Chris Benoit, while he was fabulous in the ring, and it's unfortunate that his murder-suicide overshadows that now, but yeah, he was wonderful in the ring. You know what I mean? But wouldn't it have been interesting to see what was going on through Chris Benoit's mind? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And unfortunately, no, we can't do that anymore, but we can at least talk to people around him. I'm not saying that we are talking to people around Chris Benoit specifically, but in a general sense, you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the objective of this documentary. We want to talk to the people that were close to those that have been lost in the business. But not only that, Rick. We want to talk to people that, if they were injured or maybe they had a drug problem or something like that. These things happen in the business, so it's not all about the death.
And there are ways to avoid. And there are ways to avoid these situations, guys.
Right? Yeah.
If
absolutely.
you're in the business or you're thinking about getting into the business, you have to know what to stay away from, what not to do, so you don't go through what these guys went through. There are ways to avoid all this, and it's not just pro wrestling; it's the entertainment industry as a whole. Whether you're a sports star, whether you're an actor, actress, whether you're a musician, whether you're a wrestler, whether you're in the wrestling business, it doesn't matter. These people all died earlier than they were supposed to. Yes, we're covering pro wrestling, but you have to understand it's not just pro wrestling. It's the entertainment industry as a whole. There's ways to avoid this, and even for people who aren't in the wrestling business, or let's say they're not wrestling. This documentary is going to be for everybody in the entertainment industry, because they go through the same things that these guys go through, and they should watch this too, so they could avoid these situations as well in the entertainment industry. And this is all stuff that could be avoided.
So
Am I right, Anthony? This could be avoided.
Yeah, it can be avoided, but and we hope that this not only inspires the wrestling fan, but inspires all people, because the thing about it is that in all walks of life, I don't care what business it is, if it's entertainment or not, you're going to come through crossroads. You're going to hit those walls, and sooner or later, you have to decide.
And you need to know what to do in these situations.
Right. You have to decide whether or not you're going to run into that wall or you're going to find a way around it, and then if you're going to find a way around it, where to go from there. And that's what these guys are going to be talking about.
Amen, Anthony. Amen, Anthony. Amen to that, brother.
It sounds like a documentary that, like I said, I really cannot wait to watch it. Like I said, every time you guys posted some new information, I was over on your Facebook. By the way, guys, for those of you who are listening, they have a Facebook page. It is Facebook/Wrestling with Disaster. It's not a hard place to find. Get on over there and check it out.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you.
Facebook.com/Wrestling with Disaster. I'm sure you can all spell it.
Also, you'll find on the Facebook page, you can go to our Kickstarter. We're really pushing the Kickstarter right now, and we have an Indiegogo site up too. You can go on to either Kickstarter.com or Indiegogo.com. Type in Wrestling with Disaster. They're on there. You know, we can use your support. I mean, it's, you know, the travel, the equipment cost, the cost of, you know, meeting with all this talent. I mean, we're bringing you so much talent. There's a lot that we have to do in order to put this documentary together. We can definitely use your support.
Exactly.
You know, every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. We'd appreciate any support out there.
Everybody, and you know, Anthony, you're right. I mean, here's the thing, everybody. We need your help. We could definitely use your help. And, you know, you have to understand, there's like millions of wrestling fans out there. If we could even get 20,000 wrestling fans to donate $1, that's a huge difference. I mean, if you could donate $1 or more, that would be great. Like, I mean, of course, it would be nice if we donated more. But if you can only donate $1, there's no embarrassment with that. Every dollar adds up, everybody. Don't be embarrassed to just donate $1 because we could use that dollar. All the dollars adds up. If 20,000 people donate $1, that's $20,000 towards putting this documentary together. But there's also other things that you could do. I mean, there's other packages, like there's pre-orders of the wrestling of the documentary. There's also ways that you could be an associate producer and actually be on. You could actually be an associate producer or an executive producer. We're even looking for sponsors too. So, you know, anybody who's interested in being a part of this documentary, we could use your help any way you can, even $1. If everybody here if anybody who's listening can donate at least $1, that would be a big improvement for us. And we could definitely use it at Indiegogo or Kickstarter. So, Anthony, I don't know if you have the information for the Indiegogo and the Kickstarter, please let everybody know.
Yeah, sure. I'll pull that up here in a second. While I'm doing so, just know that, not only are there ways to help us out, you can also get stuff for yourself. You know, we're giving away, not giving away, but, you know, we're offering T-shirts. We're offering posters. We're offering the DVD. We're offering the DVD pre-ordered. You know, there's signed items. You can get signed items. You can get tickets to the premiere when the premiere comes out. You know what I mean? Things like that. There's tons of perks that you can go with. So it's not just saying, oh, let me just give these guys money. There's a lot of benefits in doing so. So yeah, absolutely, guys. You know, everything. You know, every little bit counts, and there's stuff that you get out of it too.
All right, and just out of curiosity, with your how many more days do you have before for the Indiegogo project?
Okay, the Indiegogo and Kickstarter, they both have, I believe they're at 24 days left. Okay. Indiegogo is a little bit more easier as far as no matter what is donated or what, you know, whatever money is buying in the perks, that definitely will go towards the film. The Kickstarter, you have to actually reach the goal. Our goal is at 40,000, so it's going to be a large mountain to climb. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff, good stuff is going to come out of it. You know what I mean? And, you know, we're pushing. We're pushing as hard as we can to make this happen.
Okay. And that Indiegogo link is now in our chat room, guys. So for those of you who really want to be a part of this incredible documentary, go on there. Just even, you know, $1 or even $5. That's what I, donated. And you know what? They'll give you a perk.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, hey, no problem. Or if you even want to put in $10 and you can get a cool poster, you can do that too.
Yeah, and just for, if you're not in the chat room, for the listeners out there, Kickstarter.com/project/404961334/wrestling-with-disaster-the-documentary. That's how you get on the Kickstarter. But in all honesty, instead of trying to figure out all of that, just go to Kickstarter, search Wrestling with Disaster. It will be a lot easier.
that or go to our Facebook.com/Wrestling with Disaster. All the links are there, everybody. So,
Yeah, all the links are there, correct.
Now,
I'll make sure those are... Go ahead. Sorry.
We have several major announcements, but we're only going to name one here on the show. If you want to find out the other major announcements, you have to like the page and keep checking back to the page to find out new announcements. But, Anthony, why don't we give them a taste of one of the major announcements, shall we?
All right, yeah, no problem. I'm sure everyone remembers the very tragic loss of Macho Man Randy Savage. It happened not too long ago, about a year or so. Last night we reached out and have made contact and discussion with Lenny Poffo, Randy Savage's brother, and he has now joined Wrestling with Disaster. So that is going to be that is going to be an amazing conversation to have, and we're really looking forward to working with Lenny. I'm actually meeting with him this weekend over at WrestleCon. I'm meeting with several of the stars from the documentary, and Lenny Poffo is a wonderful addition to this documentary.
Yeah, I cannot wait. That's Lenny Poffo. I've watched his kayfabe commentaries, and he is just absolutely incredible. So to have him in this documentary, I can only imagine what he would have to say just to talk about his brother and. We're going to be doing a lot of filming for this. If you people think that it's just going to be a sit-down interview with him, let us just tell you, there's going to be stuff in this documentary that you're going to love to see that's going to have everything to do with Lenny Poffo and Macho Man Randy Savage and everything, and this is going to be let's just put it this way, this is going to be a historic documentary, and it's also going to be, how do I say this, it's going to be a masterpiece, and it's going to be something you don't want to miss. It's going to be something you don't want to miss, people. Trust me. I mean, I've been in the wrestling industry. I've been in the wrestling industry till about, I think it was around 2006, 2007. So, I mean, I'm an independent pro wrestling manager, and I've seen a lot of stuff on the indies too. And I have a story to tell that's going to be on the documentary as well. I'm not going to say it here, but if you want to hear all of our great stories, you're going to have to watch the documentary. Wow. Now, the Pitbull Gary Wolf joined your team on March 9th. What was it like for him to join?
I'm sorry, who did you say, Pitbull?
Yes,
yep.
Pitbull.
Yeah. Gary, we reached out to Gary probably the beginning of March, the end of February, somewhere around there. Gary has some interesting stuff to discuss. He broke his neck early in his career. He lost Anthony Durante. That was Pitbull number 2. And Gary being on this project is, let me tell you, if you ever seen a upset Pitbull, and I don't mean an angry Pitbull, I mean a sad Pitbull, this is definitely going to be the time to see it, because Gary has a lot of amazing stuff to discuss with us, and we really get to the bottom of it when it comes to Gary. So it's going to be a good time to really see a man pour it out there for him, for the world. You know what I mean? And
here's the
Gary
thing,
is going to do.
Here's the thing, Anthony, and this goes to anybody who saw the promo that Gary Wolf put on the trailer. That is a promo, people. He wasn't serious when he was calling people losers. I'm just letting people know that. It was it was a promo like wrestlers do, promos. It wasn't meant literally, people. So don't get offended when he says that. It's a promo. Like we wanted a wrestling side of Gary before we do the interviews and stuff like that. We wanted a promo from him. So don't take it literally. If you take it literally, you're dope.
Yeah, I think too many people who would take that doesn't understand what the word heel means.
Yeah, I mean,
right, and that was the thing. When we first met Gary, we were outside of a store and we called up with him and we were like, "Hey, Gary, listen, we're not going to be able to sit down and do something serious right now, but just cut us a little something saying you're a part of the project. And Gary was nice enough to just, throw that out there real quick. It wasn't anything. It wasn't anything major. It was him doing his thing. You know what I mean? No, we're not going to see that side of Gary Wolf on the documentary. You're going to see the real Gary Wolf. You're going to see the man behind the pit bull. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so if anybody actually listens to that promo and watches the teaser trailer, it's not what he's making it out to be. That's him cutting a promo for us, saying, "Hey, I'm a part of this project. Watch out." And that's simple as that.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony, for clearing that up, because I just wanted people
no problem.
Because we did have that one tard on there saying that Gary's calling everybody losers. So we just want to clarify that for the people listening. So
Really? Wow,
right.
I did that. That's just
we just, trust me. When you're successful, people are going to hate. It's just that simple. It's haters are our number one fans. They make you stronger. But I'm just letting you know that. For the haters out there, don't take that literally. Come on now, be smart here.
Yeah.
Don't be a mark.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I never really watched ECW that much. I mean, I watched it unfortunately when it got watered down in WWE. So I didn't know him that well. I'm not familiar with a lot of his work. I did a little bit of research on him, and I knew that I guess he did a match. And I guess he actually broke his neck during the match, and he finished the match while his neck was broken, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we're going to focus on when we do our interview with Gary. Gary was in a halo, and he was still doing shows in a halo. And, Gary's a strong guy, and you're not going to see
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing, but I managed Pitbull Gary Wolf at one of Johnny Cashmere's shows back in the day when DWF and Local Wrestling did a joint show with PWU, and I actually managed Pitbull Gary Wolf in the Battle Royal, and I was actually there when he blew his knee out in the Battle Royal. So this isn't ballet, everybody. I mean, if you're going to come into this business, there's going to be times where you injure somebody, there's going to be times where you get injured, and this isn't ballet. It's very physical, and there's going to be times you get injured, and there's going to be times that you injure somebody. It's a part of the business, you just gotta be a man, heal up, be a woman. Even there's women that are wrestlers that get injured too. You just gotta man and woman up and just work through it and continue doing what you love doing. Just heal up as quick as possible and as safely as possible, and continue to do what you do. It's just, it's that, like I said, this is not ballet. So, you're going to get injured. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And we're going to touch on that.
Yeah. That does bring up an interesting question. You said woman up. You named up a lot of male names. Have you talked with any females, for this documentary?
Okay, currently.
Yeah, we're in talks.
Currently, we don't have any confirmed. Okay, we are working to get female wrestlers. I mean, I have no problem working with female wrestlers whatsoever. We just don't have any confirmed right now. Therefore, I really can't get into it as to who we might have or whatnot. We are reaching out. We are, trying our best to get all types of wrestlers. You know what I mean? There's no discrimination, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand.
Yeah, for the haters out there, don't, I'm just letting you know, it's not done on purpose. We are working on it, so,
Well, all right. Let me see. Chris, if you're there, if you have any questions.
Not really, except could we possibly hear a famous road story from Vinny?
Well, I got one. It was actually, I have one. It's God rest her soul, Luna Vachon. I had the privilege of carpooling with Luna a few times, and I'll never forget one time. I actually, I had to pick her up at the airport or whatever, and we had to go out to Jersey together and work for WSU at the time. For those who don't know, WSU is Women Superstars Uncensored. I picked up Luna. We carpooled. I had a bunch of people in the car with me because they all wanted to come too. I had a bunch of people in the car with me. It was me, and Luna was in the front seat in shotgun position, and I was in the driver. And it was you know, it was a hot summer day, and the windows were rolled down because my crappy Jeep at the time, you know, because before that I actually smacked up my Nissan, which had great air conditioning, and I needed a car to get from point A to point B, so I bought a crappy Jeep, and air conditioning sucked in it, so we had the windows all rolled down. Well, you know, we're sitting in traffic, gridlocked bumper to bumper. We're between the rat trap of, you know, we were sitting between the Throgs Neck Bridge and the George Washington Bridge, sitting in traffic, and for everyone who knows that if you're on Long Island, that's all you ever do is sitting in traffic. So, you know, and we had a Mack truck on the right side of my Jeep, and you know how high up Mack trucks are. So, you know, we're driving, you know, we're sitting in traffic, and all of a sudden Luna looks to the right, and she sees the Mack truck driver looking down and staring at her cleavage. Well, Luna went apeshit. She went fucking ballistic. She, motherfucker, blah, 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 gets out of the Jeep, and I'm like, oh, shit, thank God we're sitting in bumper to bumper. I threw the shit in park and went to go run after her. And all of a sudden, you see the truck driver quickly roll up the window and lock the door as she's going ballistic and shit. and I'm holding her back. I'm like, Luna, no, I don't want to get arrested before we go there. Please, no. And I had to hold her back and get her back in the car. But it was funny because, you know, I guess he didn't expect Luna to go flying off the handle the way she did, but Luna was a very sweet Christian woman. She was a Christian, well-respected Christian woman. If you knew Luna personally, she was nothing like her character. She was a sweetheart. She would give you the shirt off her back if it meant saving your life. She would do anything for you if she was close with you. But God help it if you get on the woman's bad side. Oh, my Lord. Let me tell you. That truck driver, I never seen a window roll up so quickly, and he locked the door, and she was just like, motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. I had to get her back in the car, and so we can continue to go forward. I'm like, Luna, please, we need to get there on time. I understand you're pissed, and I want to kick the guy's ass too, but, you know. And it was funny because I actually told David Heath that story back in Oklahoma when I worked the show out there, and Dave goes, yep, that's Luna. He's like, yep, that's Luna. And he started laughing when I told him the story. It was so funny. But Luna was a great person. I mean, she was there. There was an incident. I'm not going to name any names or anything, but there was an incident between my dad and one of the wrestling women. She decided to, you know, break kayfabe and go after my dad, not realizing it was my dad or anything. But Luna got wind of that, and she specifically told the promoter, put her in the match with me, and she deliberately stiffed the living shit out of this girl.
Wow.
Like, you don't mess with family, and Luna was family to me. I love Luna to death. I was very deeply upset when she died, and, you know, to this day I still think about Luna. She was a sweetheart, and if anybody knew the real Luna, they would know that she is the sweetest Christian woman you'll ever know. You just don't want to piss her off because she won't speak so Christian-like afterwards, but But Luna was a sweetheart, and I miss Luna dearly. But that was that was one of the greatest roads. That was one of the good road stories that I have to tell. That's actually tellable without, you know, getting vulgar or anything. So, you know.
Well, this is Hardcore Wrestling Radio, so you can say what the fuck you want. So,
yeah,
you know.
I know. It's funny you guys say that. I mean, usually for the most people that have heard me on wrestling radio podcasts in the past when I used to host radio shows, I was very, very vulgar and very bad, and I used to. But this is a more serious side to me because I think that this documentary is, you know, this documentary deserves professionalism, and I'm not gonna be Vinny the Guido. Today I'm Vincent S. the Benedetto. I'm you know, usually I'm Vinny the Guido on the independent scene, but today I'm Vincent S. the Benedetto, the co-producer of this film, along with the director Anthony Bruno. And let me tell you something. I take this very seriously, what we're doing here.
I know you.
I'm so grateful that Anthony took me on board with this because this is something that we're both going to consider our masterpiece. Isn't that right, Anthony?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we really want this to be, you know, we want this documentary taken very seriously. And, you know, if we're out there running our mouths or doing something out of line or whatever, no one's going to take that seriously. So.
Exactly.
I understand that, and I can respect that. You know, and like I said, like we've always like with Hardcore Wrestling Radio, we've kind of been a little bit more off the cuff, just kind of a little bit more little let loose show. So you know, but I can understand from your point of view. Yeah, you have to be a little bit more professional. You have to.
Don't get me wrong. I love to say cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck shit, cunt, cock, and pussy. I would love to do that, but I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I get you. I get you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for jokes and ha ha ha, funny shit. You know, I'm all for that and everything. But this is a very serious thing that we're doing, and it needs to be taken seriously. So, you know.
Oh, is there anything else you'd like to, shout out about the movie or anything else? When do you, I know that you did come out with a great teaser. Can we expect any more teasers in the near future, or any maybe sound bits we can get coming up soon?
Yeah, you absolutely can. I've been working on it's like a mini series, 15-second clips that we're going to put out 15 of them actually. And, I'm calling it 15 for 15, and basically what it is it's just, it's just 15-second clips where something on the documentary, or even it might end up not on the documentary, but it'll be a behind-the-scenes clip or something like that. But you're going to see little tidbits of stuff going on as we're in production here. I have one that's ready to be fired up. I'm just working on an animation title for it. And I'm going to be posting that, and then once that one goes through, then they're all going to start coming out, like wildfire, and that kind of stuff's going to come out. And as we do more filming with a lot of the the bigger names that we have and stuff, we're going to be adding to the teaser. We're going to be updating it, and so on and so forth. We're going to start putting pictures out, things that get to show you a little bit of behind the scenes and what's going on with the documentary. We wanted to get that teaser up. We wanted people to see, hey, this is a legitimate project. They're not, joking around or pulling anyone's strings or anything. We do have something in the works. So we put that teaser up for right now. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more to come. It's just it's all about timing. We're waiting for the right time to do it. That's all.
Absolutely. Well, listen, if we have you guys just saying, this is hardcore, this is Vinny Dito, or this is Anthony Bruno. You're listening to Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and then we can sponsor a soundtrack. We'd definitely love to do that.
Yeah. I
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going for that. Absolutely, that would be great.
So you do that for us, and we'll put that on our show and give the fans something to listen to.
Sure
awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
I appreciate all your help, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem at all. We'd love to have you guys again, and do everything we can to help the project. And of course, we have a couple of people in the chat room. If they're more than welcome to chat, what do you think in the chat room?
We'll take some callers. If anybody's in the chat room wants to call in and ask us a question, we're more than welcome to. Go
well, I've been chatting and seeing if they want to, and so far nobody's been answering it. So it's
It doesn't even have to be about the product. Like if you want to ask me questions about about what I've done, or if you want to ask about our credentials, if you want to ask us any questions you may have, feel free and ask us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Well, okay. Actually, you know what? Well, while they're figuring that out, Anthony, I'm going to ask you. I know right now that this has been your main project. Have you done any other side projects? Have you done any other movies, like maybe small ones on the side, or is this your first one?
Yeah. No. This isn't my first one. I currently have one title out there that was released on DVD and Netflix. I will plug it. It's Celluloid Bloodbath, More Previews from Hell. And I was the lead editor on the project. That was released in October of 2012, right? We're in 13, yes. October of 2012. It is on Netflix now. It is out on DVD. I'm proud of the project. I was happy to work on the project, but it was time to create my own baby, and that's when I moved into Wrestling with Disaster. I also have done all of the sound effects and the sound editing on a short film that is going to be coming out within the next month or so. It's going to be hitting festivals and stuff. That's called The Fae. And the guy that did the executive producer, well, he was the producer, the director, and all that on The Fae. He's actually part of the executive producer team on Wrestling with Disaster. And if you look up The Fae trailer on YouTube, you'll see the quality of work coming from this guy, you can only imagine what's going to come out of Wrestling with Disaster. And he's behind this project, and he's the one to put out the say. So it was great to work on that project, too. So I have 2 projects that are already in the can, and I have a few others that I'm, in pre-production or in production right now. But those 2 are already in the can, and you can get one of them, and the other one you'll be able to see in festivals shortly. So, yeah, good stuff.
All right. And, Vinny, we know your past. We know that you've been with the WWE and several other what have you got going on right now in, your world?
Well, I mean, I've never worked with WWE. Like, I never had a contract with WWE. I've never really done anything with WWE. I was on the WrestleMania 23 DVD. I did it was like a 3-second clip when it was like a commercial for the Stone Cold Steve Austin's movie, The Condemned world premiere. Mm-hmm. I was on there. It was a 3-second clip. I said I lost my voice from screaming so much, and I had to pretend my voice was shot. But yeah, I mean, that's about the only thing I really did with WWE was that commercial for Stone Cold Steve Austin's movie, The Condemned world premiere. That is on the WrestleMania 23 DVD if anybody has it or wants to check it out.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the extent of what I did with WWE. But I mean, I've been on the independent pro wrestling scene since like 2006, 2007, and
wait a second.
I've learned a lot.
Wait, did you say WWE makes movies?
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, go figure.
Just kidding. Let's not cause a controversy here.
Yeah, I know, right?
In a second.
Well, don't forget, everybody. It's not World Wrestling Entertainment. It's now WWE, and they don't want to have anything to do with wrestling. Don't forget.
Yeah. They've got rid of the wrestling part.
I mean, wrestling's a curse word in their eyes now, so
You can't say that.
You said this is hardcore radio.
I know, right? Now, when you say hardcore, now, would you say that? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But, hey, we can always talk about ring rat stories. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, man, I'm telling you.
You guys heard that, but I guess the WWE films might be going under. If these 2 films...
No surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
12 rounds,
wow,
come on, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard the Call did very well. I heard the Call did very well in the box office, from what I heard.
Yeah, depending on the call and depending on Dead Man Down, I don't know how well that's doing. I haven't checked the numbers on that one, but depending on those 2, and if those 2 don't do great, they're considering closing the doors.
Well, listen. Let me say this. Let me say this in all reality. Okay, I was joking around before a little bit, but I appreciate them trying to put movies out there. It's just more entertainment for the fans and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I don't have any ill feelings towards WWE or their films or anything like that. We're in the filmmaking business. We're all just trying to make movies, make entertainment, make things that people want to enjoy and watch, and that's all they were trying to do, or still trying to do, or however you want to look at it.
Exactly.
I appreciate the attempt, whether it's a success or a failure. You know what I mean? If you have a passion, you have a passion, and currently they had a passion to make movies. So, it is what it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I don't know if you guys have any.
Well, Anthony, do you want to tell people how they could find you on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, and then I'll go after that?
Yeah, sure. You can reach me. I am on Facebook at TJ Ryan is my Facebook.com/TJ Ryan or something along those lines. That was just a moniker I was going under. But you can also get on the Facebook.com/Wrestling with Disaster website. We do have WrestlingWithDisaster.com, but it's under construction. We are putting that together now. And you can email me at wrestling.with.disaster@gmail.com. I'll be happy to talk to anybody and give more feedback about the film and how it's coming along. Or if you just want to introduce yourself, say hello. That's fine too. I'm always up to meet people. It's no big deal. The other thing I did want to mention, and before Vinny, you say your spiel. There was a wrestler that I met the other day. His name's Nick Dimitratos. Okay.
Good guy.
I didn't mention his name before, and it just because it's so fresh in my mind, it slipped my mind. But the guy has completely destroyed his ankle. Okay, and I spoke to him the other day, and he's been asking like just exactly the way I just told you how you can get a hold of me. He got a hold of me. Okay, and that's what made me think about it. And the guy had a pill problem. Okay, now he trained under Alpha's World Extreme Wrestling, I think it's called.
Yes, the Wild Simone Camp.
Yeah, the Wild Simone Academy, correct. He trained over there with Alpha, and he was on his way. He worked with a lot of great talent, and people saw stuff in him. And he destroyed his leg because he fell asleep behind the wheel. Okay, during one of his pill episodes. Okay, and now he's trying to make his return. The kid's only 28 years old, and he wants his life back. And, we recently just got him on the documentary, and I was so happy to have him contact me, because that's the kind of stories that, that we want on this documentary. That, it's not just about who died, or it's not just about the loss. It's about, like we said, overcoming the loss. And Nick Dimitratos, Corey Castle, Billy Reel, those names, Don Moore, those names are about overcoming the tragedies, okay? They're not just, listen, they may not be names that you know because they're not household names or whatever, but they are wrestlers. There
Absolutely.
is a whole independent scene, you know what I mean? And these guys have amazing stories, and I've been working a lot with Corey and Billy lately, and this story with Nick, and all he did was contact me. Reach out to me. It's not a big deal. Get a hold of me. You got something to say? You want to know about something? You want to put your input in there? Maybe there's something we can do with you, or maybe there's something we can do about something you want to see. Either way, reach out to me. And, we're open to a lot right now. So, yeah, please feel free to contact me. Go on
even
Facebook,
if you have ideas that you would like to see in the documentary, just contact Anthony and let him know,
Yeah. I'm open to talk to anybody. This documentary, it's in its early stages. Yes, we've done a lot of filming so far, but there's so much more that we will be happy to do. So, yeah, contact me anytime, anybody.
There it is, folks.
And if you guys want to reach me, you can also reach me at Facebook.com/official Vinny the Guido. That's Vinny with a Y, not I-E, folks. It's Facebook.com/official Vinny the Guido. Twitter.com/Vinny the Guido, even though I'm hardly on Twitter. I do have a Twitter page. I don't exactly go on MySpace anymore, but I was too lazy to take stuff down. Yeah, I was too lazy to take stuff down, but if you want to check it out, it's myspace.com/official Vinny the Guido. You can reach me on email at Vinny_the_Guido@live.com. I also own a talent agency, so if there's any promoters out there that are looking to book major names for their shows or anything, go to topoftheline.talentbookings.com. It's now VAZ Enterprises, formerly Top of the Line Talent Bookings, but I'm booking talent through there. So, again, topoftheline.talentbookings.com if you're looking to book any major names at decent prices and you don't get beat up on it. Feel free and contact me. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. And, again, thank you guys for having us on here. It's been a privilege and everything. And I'll stick around to, talk about the upcoming events coming up if you guys like.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much.